in a third of very major stories this month, Kurt Angle coming to TNA, Vince Russo returning to TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Almost lost in it was the announcement that TNA, at No Surrender, announced that TNA Impact will be moving to its primetime spot on Thursday, November 16th. The new time slot would kick off with a 2-hour special from 9 to 11, then settle into a weekly 1-hour format from 9 to 10. TNA has long desired a weekly night time slot similar to Raw and SmackDown. If TNA experiences ratings success in the new time slot and with Angle as a headline act and Russo booking, a jump to 2 hours is almost assured in 2007. There is, of course, fucking endless ratings discussion this month. Every single week it's like UFC lead-in didn't increase Impact ratings even though it didn't for the entire time they've been here. We haven't learned a single thing. It's fluctuating from a 0.7 to a 0.9. Oh,
I don't want to do ratings talk. It's so useless.
It does put into context just how fundamentally useless it is. Like how fundamentally inane these talking points are, that you are like parsing the difference between a 0.7 and a 0.9 like the sky is falling, that like this is a disaster, it's a terrible rating, they have 1 million people watching on Spike TV. It's like I can't interact with it.
Here we are, interacting with it.
I have to once again tie it to the Russo story, though. I have to call these fucking shitehawks out for fundamentally changing wrestling. Like, that's what they did here. Like, they covered this stuff to death so that everybody was fucking hand-wringing for 6 months straight about television ratings instead of being happy that you're on national television with 1 million people watching, with your television partner moving you to fucking prime time. So they're perfectly happy with it, while you're all fucking stabbing each other and melting down, and all the media can do is be like, it's a 0.7 this week. That's a disaster.
Whoa.
And this is the final result. You get Vince Russo. You get the fucking brochachos. That's what you get when you do this. Like, you get people desperately pandering to an audience that's not theirs in an imaginary world that they can turn them into fans of theirs instead of just staying with the thing they watch, because they're not going to watch AEW if it's more like WWE, because guess what? They like WWE, and they get WWE from WWE.
You tell them, King.
You have to give them something different. You have to give them an alternative. And then there'll be people who be like, well, that alternative doesn't appeal to a casual fan. To which I'll say, fuck off. Because you build the audience you build. If you put on a product that is built on something different from WWE, you will attract an audience that then likes and expects something different from WWE. That's the way it works. Fucking nonsense bullshit. I hate it. I hate
It's like nonsense bullshit.
I said nonsense, but sure. I did not accuse any wrestling media of being a nonce.
Yet.
Just of being like just desperate take merchants who.
I mean, yeah, it's insane. It's insane, stupid bullshit. But here we are again. Here we will be for the rest of our lives.
We'll do an AEW retrospective podcast, and I'll do the same rant when I'm 50.
Yeah, we will. I'm just accepting it now.
The AAA organization in Mexico is trying to set up a TNA versus AAA program for a big stadium show on September 18th in Naucalpan? Nailed it.
Yeah. This is pretty much on the money.
The show ended up drawing 17,000 fans with some footage being shot for TNA TV. My first note when I looked at this card is seeing in the opening match Laredo Kid.
Different Laredo Kid.
Is it a different Laredo Kid?
I think so.
I don't think it is. Wikipedia or Cage Match doesn't have it as a different Laredo Kid.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 2 Laredo Kids, but you know, I'm not the most reliable narrator on that aspect either.
But like they have Laredo Wrestling as from 2003, so he was around. It's just crazy to me to think that this dude's been around since he was like in his mid-teens. Just kicking about, like yeah, literally being a child. So they had like a mini tournament. So like they had like a team TNA, which was AJ Styles, Homicide, Loki, and Samoa Joe. Just like the most badass team TNA you could possibly have. So there was like a tournament with some bullshit. Abyss, Jeff Jarrett, and Conan also were in the main event. But yeah, a big AAA show drew 17,000 fans.
Sweet.
It's pretty neat.
It is pretty sweet.
I would go down to Mexico and do some TV in front of giant crowds.
Can we watch that show?
I have no idea. It might be available somewhere. I know the history of Mexican wrestling being available to watch is a difficult task, but which is a shame.